Okay, this is a way to merge some vocabulary terms using Autocrat and bringing it into the presentation, such as the Frayer model. Remember, with the Frayer model, it's really important to start at examples and non-examples for students, and then move into facts and characteristics. And then from all these three areas, we can come up with a student coming up with their definition, and then formally give them some feedback on those definitions too, as well as the facts and characteristics, etc. Basically, the idea of them coming up with the definition from those examples and non-examples. So to take a list, either from a document or a spreadsheet, you just want to get it into a spreadsheet. So I'm just going to copy the grade 3 terms here and add a sheet called grade 3, and I'll just rename this term because that matches up with my tag here that Autocrat's going to use. You don't have to have these two match. It just makes it a little bit easier in understanding what it is. All right, so I'm just going to go up to Add-on Autocrat and open that. And here you can see I already have a job. I'm just going to create a new job. And then I'm going to name it Math 3rd grade. And next, I'm going to choose the template, that copy of the Frayer model template that I have up here to open in another tab. Since I just opened it's there. And just hit next. So what it's telling me here is it basically found one unmapped tag called term that's in the middle of this Frayer model automatically. Again, I could come into this term and resize it, change the color to as well if I want it a little bit bigger. But basically I have to say, hey, where's this data coming from? So I got to map the data to the actual template. So it's going to be called sheet 4 down here. I probably could have named it grade 3 or something. And then once I picked out that term, it actually maps to that column that I named termed earlier. If I would have left it grade 3, it would have said grade 3 here. And I get it next. And then it just wants to name this file. So I'm going to call it grade 3 vocab, math vocab, or terms. I want to do a Google slide, but I don't want multiple slideshows of one slide of each word. I want to put all those words into one single file. And then I can choose a destination folder. In this case, I'm going to choose math vocabulary. And next, dynamic reference is not needed. And then basically it says, hey, what condition do you want to start this off on? And basically what I'm going to do is add the basic condition of like, hey, if the term equals not null, meaning there's nothing in it, go ahead and run it. And then you'll see Autocrat put in the information here. Now I'm going to share this doc here. What I'm going to do is after I build this, I can build several different presentations quickly off a list of words, and then I can share that through Google Classroom to my kids to work on individually or collaboratively. No triggers here, so I'm just going to hit save. And now you see my job as completed. I can go back and edit it. I can also preview it, but I'm just going to go for it because you learn by failing. You can see in the background on the spreadsheet, Autocrat has created some column headers to keep track of the document that we're creating. And notice that it also picked up the 41 different terms. So it finished up the job for us. We can just close out if we'd like to, and you can notice that the vocabulary term, or the merge ID is the same for each doc. It actually will link me out to the same exact doc a whole bunch of times. So I could go into that folder, grade 3 math terms if I'd like to, or I can just go right in. One thing I forgot to remove is the first grade thing from the list. You can see it pulled that in. I should have deleted that part. But as you notice then, once all these slides come in, every single term in that spreadsheet now is a part of this slideshow. I can take this slideshow and share it out to my kids collaboratively, like I said, or put it into Google Classroom. And now they have kind of the work in progress of what words they need to get done. It's all in the right order. So as you work through the units or the year, whatever, however you want to break this up, all the definitions, facts, characters, examples will be there too as well for these students. And don't forget that vocabulary accounts for probably 25% of any standardized test score. Not that we're doing this to improve test scores, but to improve understanding through creation of knowledge. But 25% of all math standardized tests can be attributed to vocabulary. So hopefully that helps, and enjoy and give them feedback if you have any.